preparation for the SSAT. I'm going to discuss each word individually as we go down these lists. I will discuss the word briefly and then give you a sentence which I hope will illustrate clearly the meaning of the word. Okay, first word, abbreviate. Notice the pronunciation. To abbreviate is to shorten. To abbreviate a book is to shorten the book. To abbreviate a message, to shorten the message. Let's say, past participle most common, the book was abbreviated, or I read the book in abbreviated form, past participle. Second, abdicate. A king abdicates. The word is not used with any other position, of any other position. The king abdicated, King George VII, I think, abdicated in about 1931 or something like that from England. That is, he gave up his throne, abdicated. Amnesty. Amnesty is basically pardon. That is, the government offered the rebels an amnesty, meaning basically a pardon. They would not punish them for rebelling against the government. Amplified is mostly made larger. To amplify something is to make it larger. But you can amplify a speech or a discourse on something. That is, make it larger, talk more about it. I know that Dr. Shin agrees. I've seen his list of words with many definitions. No student could memorize those in the first place, and in the second place, even if the student did, I think the student would have very little. So this is the way, listening to a definition, listening, and an example. You must have a sentence, hopefully good sample sentences, hopefully. First word, collaboration. Collaboration, a noun, means cooperation, working together. Dr. Shin and I are in collaboration in our various projects. To commute is a verb. Many people commute from Suwon to Seoul every day. That is, travel to Seoul to work and then go back to Suwon, say, to live. Compel is a verb. It means to force. He compelled me to eat his cooking. Congenial, good word. Adjective, congenial basically means friendly, kind even, but a climate can be congenial, kindly, gentle, mostly. Consecutive means happening without any interruption of other things. For example, the Samsung Lions won 13 consecutive games early in the season last year. To consent is to agree to not disagree. He consented. The boy asked his parents if he could go downtown today, and they consented. To convene is to come together, that is, all the representatives convened last week in Seoul, that is, came together, met. Customary, you know this, that which is custom. It's customary in Korea to bow to one's elders, perhaps. Debate can be a noun or a verb. A debate is a formal occasion when two people or two teams speak in defense of and against some idea. For example, the topic of our debate today will be the American presence in Korea. Team A will defend American presence in Korea. Team B will disagree. To debate a subject is to discuss but disagree. Decree is like a ruling by a government. Often a verb too. The government decreed that the doctors must return to their hospitals or something. To defect from is to leave one's country, escape basically, and seek asylum in another country. That is someone's defection. Defendant in a trial is the person who has been accused. The defendant claimed that he was innocent. A defender is a person who defends something. When I received some very bad news, remained dejected for a long time. Deleterious means harmful. Good word. SAT word, I think. Harmful. The deleterious effects of eating maybe too much sugar even. Demolish. To demolish is to destroy. His car was demolished. He demolished his car. Depress. To depress, it can, well, to sadden. His failure depresses me. To deprive is to take away from. They deprived him of his title as a boxer. He was a champion, but he never fought. And so they deprived him of to deprive someone of something. To deprive someone of an education. That is, to deny that person an education. Dichotomy, good, is a split into two that cannot easily be healed or reconciled. The dichotomy between good and evil, maybe. The dichotomy between hope and despair, two absolute opposites in theory. Dictate is a verb. Of course, Dr. Shin gives you maybe a dictation. He reads a passage and you write it down. He dictates it to you. But reason dictates that people obey laws most of the time and keep promises and meet their obligations. Reason dictates means reason tells us almost in a command. Dictation, you take dictation from Dr. Shin maybe. Diffidence, good word. Opposite, confidence. He felt diffidence when confronted with this task. That is, he felt nervous and uneasy, did not feel confidence. Disinclination, opposite, inclination. I have a disinclination to speak too openly about some subject because I fear that I will upset people or something. That is, I hesitate, I decide not to do it. I'm disinclined to do it. I'm inclined to, that is, I have a strong temptation to. I'm disinclined to, that is, I'm reluctant to. To disperse is to scatter. The crowd dispersed after the accident. The crowd scattered and went away. Disposition. I'll use it in the primary sense. His disposition is very good, meaning his temperament, meaning he's friendly, never depressed or ill-tempered or angry or irritable. He has a good disposition. To dissipate is to scatter something, but I said disperse, VI, the crowd dispersed, period, after the accident. Good. To disturb is to upset the composure of. Some news disturbed me, meaning I felt composed, I was calm and happy, but the news disturbed me. Now, on hotel doors, you hang out the sign, do not disturb, meaning I don't want any company now, I don't want to be interrupted, I'm sleeping or doing something. To divert is like to detour, or to deter, kind of. To divert funds, let's say the bank plans to spend, or the government plans to spend X billion on some highway. they divert the funds to some other cause. Docile, calm, easily instructed, easily leadable, an animal perhaps, a child, especially a docile child, doesn't fight, doesn't resist.